This video is brought to you by the FARMER-KLEIN YouTube channel. Be sure to like, subscribe, and comment. Hey everybody, and welcome back to another map first impressions video. Today we're going to take a look at Fox Farms. This map can be found over at the farmingsimulator.com website or the in-game mod hub, and as of the 1.0 release, this map is available for all platforms. Now, I will have to say, this map is rather interesting, and we'll talk a bit more about it as we move into the map video. But first, this video is brought to you by Dave Demented. Thank you for being a farm baron. Now let's read a little bit of the description. Welcome to Fox Farms. What the map provides is 22 fields in 4 meadows, 1 farm, filling stations, water stations, seed and fertilizer filling area, multiple cow pastures, an open bunker silos, 3 sell points, animal dealer, vehicle shop, BGA, mission system, and I'm going to call the map author out on the last one. He says this is a seasons supported map, but I'm going to have to say not quite. So this map does have a seasons mask in the zip files. This map does not have that seasons mask being referenced in the map XML file, so therefore it's not active. So while you could probably play this map with seasons, it would look fine. There are some seasonal textures that are going to crop up depending on the season. What you will not have is you will not have hay or straw rotting if it is outside, because there isn't a seasons mask that's being referenced in the map. With that, let's just go ahead and jump on in. So there are no additional mods that are required for this particular map. So we're just going to go ahead and select the mods that we typically use when we take a look at these maps. Some of these extra mods are going to come up in another map video that's going to be coming up shortly. Let's go ahead and pull up the log, and as the log is loading up, you're going to see, like right there, I already went by, but you're going to see that there were entries for different bush textures depending on the seasons. So the map does have some aspect of directly supporting the seasons mod, but I just don't know why it's not referencing the seasons mask that is in the zip. It's there, but it's not referenced in the XML. So let's go ahead and take a look here at the PDA. And we're going to zoom on out. And this is a map that is perfect for those folks that want square or squarish fields. Other than a few fields here, all of these fields are very AI helper friendly. If we go ahead and look at the lands, you'll see that we start out by owning the main farm here and a little bit of little field here called field 3, field 25, and field 17. So 17 is $501,000, 20 acres. Field 25 is $566,000, 23 acres. The main farm here is 6.28 acres, $182,000. Now, if you do load this map up on Farm Manager or start from scratch, you're going to find that the main farm is barren of most buildings, but a lot of the decorative bits are still hanging around. Also, you will find that you do not own any land in Farm Manager or start from scratch, but you do have the equipment. So the equipment does remain. Now, over here, we do have 3 cow pastures, all in this one big area. That can be bought for $786,000. We've got the BGA down here, $156,000 basically. And pretty much every part of this map can be purchased. So we could buy the road network for $65,000. All of these sell points can be purchased for additional money, should we so wish. You can see we have all of the standard crops available to us here on Farm Sim 19. Let's go ahead and take a look at the soil map. And I have to say, this is a wonderful representation of the generic soil map because there is so much field on this particular map that pretty much everything is exposed. So you get a really good representation of the generic soil map. If we take a look here at our prices screen, we see we have 3 main sell points for the bulk of our crops. We also have a dedicated sell point for potatoes, sugar beets, cotton, and wool, as well as our sugarcane, eggs, and milk here at the dealer. There isn't a sawmill on the map, but the dealer will also take our wood chips. The barn will take our silage, hay, straw, and grass if we do not own the biogas plant, and the barn will also accept pellets if we play with straw harvest. We take a look here at our starting equipment. We start out with a decent list of starting equipment, given the size of fields on this map. We do not own any animals at the start, and there are contracts available. Let's go ahead and take a look at that starting equipment. We start out with the Magnum CVX 135, the Case Quad Track 470, as well as the Fendt 1050. So our tractors range in horsepower from 169 to 525. We have the Lizard Warrior pickup truck, or sorry, semi truck. Then we have the Case 9240 Harvester, the 1978 pickup truck, the Load King Distinction semi trailer. Then we have the Kinsey grain cart, the Seed Runner 3755. We don't see that often provided for starting equipment. Then we have the 3162 44-foot grain header for the Case Harvester. We have the Lemken 12S 1600 cultivator, the Terminator TH18 air seeder, and then the corresponding seed cart and fertilizer cart for that seeder. We have the Hardy Navigator 6000 sprayer, front loader arms, pallet fork, front weight, and that is it. So you may have noticed that this list is short farm buildings. So we can't sell the buildings on the farm, but luckily we could buy the buildings back because they're all standard base game buildings. But we'll say you might have problems placing buildings on the farm if you start in new farmer or farm manager mode or start from scratch. And that is because, well, a lot of the decorative bits that are going to be found here around the main farm remain in all play modes. So I'm going to try to remember to pop up a screenshot I took while I was taking a look at the farm in farm manager mode right about now. And you're going to see that there are 9 floating objects around where the farmhouse should be, as well as all kinds of other decorative bits around the farmhouse that remain regardless of the play mode. So I do not, under any circumstance, suggest that you start this map on anything other than New Farmer, because the farm as you see it will not include any of the buildings. Well, at least none of the functional buildings. So the farmhouse is missing, but various decorative bits like this lawn chair, like this bucket, the flower pots, the 2 white chairs, interesting enough, but the rest is missing, the fan, the hammock remains, all of the potted plants remain, but the house is gone. This is all still here. So effectively this area becomes, in my opinion, completely useless. You're probably not going to be allowed to put a building down right here. Even if you try to place this farmhouse down exactly where it was, you're not going to line it up right, and just things are going to look weird. In addition, this trailer remains, as well as a lot of the decorative bits here behind the shed. Although these easy sheds do not remain. They go away. But the junk here between the sheds, behind the sheds, they do stay here. So across the way, you see we have our base game silo as well as 4 silo extensions. So we have our dump station there. And all of that trash remains in the other play modes. We have our fill pipe right there. Now, interesting enough, on the PDA, you're going to see down there, it shows a gas icon here. Well, this is a workshop trigger. So I do not know why we are seeing a refueling icon show up right here. Gas station. There's only one trigger here, so I'm not really sure what's going on with that. Oh, sorry, I misspoke. It looks like there are actually two triggers overlaid there. I didn't see that earlier. So this is going to be your maintenance workshop and your gas station. You see some of our larger equipment here under Easy Shed number 3. And then, interesting enough, behind the back here, we have a water tower that has a trigger. So there is a water trigger here. But then right beside this trailer is another trigger marker pointing to this fire hydrant. So there are apparently 2 water triggers right here behind the Easy Sheds. Kind of an interesting thing. And then we have our 3 tractors over here. And that is pretty much the main farm. So let's go ahead and get set up for that fly around. We're going to fly around the map, take a look and see how things look from above. Then we're going to land at the shop and drive around to the sell points and check out the cow area in a little bit more detail. So one of the first things you're going to notice is this is a flat map. There is not a single hill to be found, at least no hills that I found on this particular map. So again, if you're into large, flat, mostly square fields, then this map is going to be right up your alley. If we head towards the west, we have to our right the 3 cow pastures, and then to our left we have 2 huge open silage bunkers. That is the areas there to the left. And then we have some sheds for our farming equipment and such. We'll go ahead and we'll make our way down to the south of the map. We have one of our grain sell points over here to our right. Directly in front of us, we have the biogas plant. Take a look across the map at this point. The water tower at that intersection is indeed another water trigger. We have our barn sell point and our animal dealer directly in front of us there. Tell you, the map author really does like his open bunkers because that big concrete pad right here at the biogas plant is one massive open silage bunker. So we have our biogas plant down there. And then we'll make our way past the animal dealer to another grain sell point, which is directly in front of us. And then the shop and the last sell point is over here to our right. So the shop is kind of an interesting little thing going on. We'll go ahead and kind of talk about the things here at the shop once we get down here. So directly in front of us, we have the fuel trigger for the map right here. Then we have our filling station right here. This is where we can buy bulk, seed, fertilizer, and the like. We'll get a good representation of exactly what we can buy here in a moment. Around the other side of the building here, we have our dealer. Now remember, the dealer is where we're going to sell our root crops, our wool, our cotton, eggs, milk, and wood chips. Here we have our shop trigger. Interesting. And then our buy, sell, trade, and repair triggers are nowhere to be found. Instead, we have another water trigger right here at this fire hydrant, but that's it. There is no place here at the shop to sell your equipment, to reconfigure your equipment, or get your equipment maintained. And way over here by the fuel trigger is where the vehicles spawn in at. So we do have a very, very large area for equipment to spawn in at, which is going to work out great because this map is really going to be keen on people that want to play with big, large equipment. So at the filling station, we can buy fertilizer, seed, lime, pig food, and back to fertilizer. I would say the only judge as to how big of equipment you can have on the map is going to be what you can pull out of the shop here, because we do have a fenced-in shop. Do you want to kind of check and see how close are these electrical poles with respect to the road? It looks like they're well off the road edge, so we do have a very nice wide road here. If we haven't had enough water triggers, well, guess what, everybody? There's another one right here. Pretty much wherever you see a fire hydrant, it seems like there is going to be a water trigger. So we have one of our grain sell points right there. As I mentioned during the fly around, we do have a water trigger in that water tower directly there. Here we have our barn sell point. On the other side, we have our animal dealer right there. And guess what, everybody? Another water point. Say, if I had a dime for every water point on this map, I just might have me $1. Just might. Let's head on down here and check out the massive bunker here at the biogas plant. As I said, totally flat. Now this is a standard size map. So that right here that we're driving in is the silage bunker. Let's go ahead and pull up our F1 menu. You can see where the bunker starts is right here at the painted texture. So we've got our edges. And then our bunker extends all the way over to this side of the painted texture. Then we have our digester right here. Our digestate right there. Now we'll make our way up to the next grain sell point. Oh, just don't mind me. Don't mind me. Just cutting through here. Cutting through here so I don't have to double back. Because the road is quite a far ways away. Here's field 17. This is one of the fields that we own at the start. And one of our other grain sell points is right here. Then we're going to make our way back to the main road anyway, which is then going to take us up to our 3 cow pastures. An interesting setup these cow pastures are. So I have to say, overall the map is interesting. I think there's going to be a select group of players that are going to be very interested in this map, and then a select group of players that are going to be very not interested in this map. So I think this map's popularity is going to be rather polarized. I do think that this was going to be a very good map for folks that like to use hired helpers, as well as folks that like to play with large machinery. I do feel that overall the map design has been set up to accommodate that large machinery. This is the comically small field 3 that you get with the starting farm. This map is very small on the file size, and it should be very, very light on the system resources. So it should play extremely well on just about anything. Here we have another water trigger. Like I said, dime a dozen. I'd have myself a cool buck. So here we have 3 cow pastures. First of 3 animal bind triggers. 200 cows apiece. So for this particular pasture, we've got our animal dealer trigger here. We have our water trough, and we use the animal pen extension mod, and that is what gives us our water pipes here. Then we have our food trough. We have our straw trigger, our slurry point, and then our milk trigger right here, which is identified by the Lily milk sales machine, which again is also part of the animal pen extension mod. Then we have our second cow pasture, which is right here at this gate. Where's this gate at? Down a little ways. Here we are. And again, 200 cows. And we have our food trough for this second cow pasture. We have our straw trigger. We have our water trough to the right for this particular cow pasture. We have our slurry point right there. And then our milk trigger right here. And then we have our third cow pasture in this same area, just down from the second. So we have our third dealer here. 200 cows once again. And we have our food trough. We have our straw trigger. We have our milk trigger. And we have our water trigger. This time to the left. And then we have our slurry point. And that is kind of the 3 big cow areas here, all incorporated into one large kind of cattle yard. Over here we just have 2 easy sheds set up with some decorative bits. And then we have 2 large open silage bunkers right here. So again, if we pull up the F1 menu, we've got bunker number 1. It's going to stretch the entire length of this painted area. And then we have bunker number 2, which is even larger. Right here, and it goes all the way over to here. So, guys, that is it. That is Fox Farms. Let me know in the comments, what do you think of this particular map? Which side of them are you on, as far as a Farm Sim 19 player? Are you on the side of the map, or the side of the player base that is interested and looking forward to trying this map out? Or do you feel that this map is maybe not your cup of tea and something that maybe you're just going to pass on? And until next time, happy farming.